Hello everyone, it is September 8th, Tuesday, and this is going to be a recap and update video. So I'm basically going to be talking about a few different things. First of all, my rebuilt engine is in my car. It's done. So my car is running nice and smooth again, and it's kind of refreshing because it hasn't been like that in a while. Ironically, the service engine light came back on, but I went into my mechanic and he says wait like 1 or 2 oil changes because he did a computerized diagnostic. The first 2 times the check engine light came back on, he actually found the problem and then he fixed it. And then the service engine light came back on a 3rd time, and then he was like, okay, I'm going to do another computerized check. So he did, and no errors came up. And so basically what he said, well, your engine was probably sitting on the shelf in a dry place for like a year, so give it a couple of oil changes and then come back. So I was like, okay, cool, sounds good. So the check engine light is on, but the car is really, really smooth and the power's back, so I can go up in the mountains, I can go down south. I mean, I can go across country in this car if I need to. Whatever. But yeah, aside from that, so I am officially single again. And so basically my ex, Sam, we broke up again. He decided to go and fall back into his ways and find acid and all that good stuff, and you know, that's his choice. I really shouldn't be gossiping about somebody who's not here to actually try and share their side of the story, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so I'm officially single again, which is going to be good for my business because and as a lot of you probably know, when you're in a relationship, one thing is for sure is it's really, really hard to actually stick with an exercise program. When I was single, I went to the gym every single day for 1 hour. Actually longer than an hour, because I was doing like 6-mile runs, and then of course I got to shower and do all kinds of other stuff. And so every single day I was going to the gym for like an hour and 30 minutes in the morning, and I was getting up at like 8 o'clock every single morning. That's what I did when I was single. One thing I've noticed is that being single has its advantages and it also has its disadvantages as well. And so being single is a little lonely, unfortunately, but I'm also extremely, extremely efficient as well. Another thing that I did is I decided to go vegan again. And the last time I went vegan, I was vegan for basically 2 months. And if you want to see what happened when I went vegan for 2 months, go through my YouTube channel and you'll find the videos. There's 2 of them. There used to be a lot more, but I basically erased a whole bunch of videos because they're basically fillers. I felt like they weren't really necessary. They're kind of repetitive. So there's 2 videos, and they're basically going to say like vegan week 1 and then vegan week 7 or 8 or something like that. So if you want to see what going vegan actually does to my body, then feel free to go ahead and go back to my YouTube channel and check that out. This time when I go vegan, I'm planning on staying vegan for a while, for a long time. In fact, after the first year, it should get a lot easier. My body seems to respond really, really well as a vegan. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. But yeah, so that's one of the updates. Right now my weight is right around 235, but my body fat percentage is right around 10, like 9 or 10. So I'm not like really, really fat. I'm a little chubby, but yeah, that chubbiness is going to be going away pretty fast here. So And basically I decided to go vegan like yesterday. Yesterday was Labor Day, so I would have gone vegan yesterday morning, but I ended up becoming vegan in the afternoon. A lot of places were closed, and so I went to go find some breakfast, and I ended up going to McDonald's. So I'm not too proud of that, but that's what I did. So, but anyway, moving on. Today I've been vegan completely. I had some really good steamed rice and some steamed, basically some stir-fry like vegetables. And then I went to Costco and I got a whole bunch of bananas and a whole bunch of naked fruit smoothies, and got some blueberries and some grapes, and I got some salted peanuts and stuff like that. Another thing too is I went ahead and picked up this avocado oil. Very, very soon I'm going to be running out of the olive oil for all of my clients out there who have sessions with me. So I'll be using this avocado oil very, very soon. And again, it's not going to be leaking out like the coconut oil was. That container's going to hold it all together so there's no messes in other people's houses. And then look at that, this big ass container of peanuts. These are salted and roasted. I wish I should have gotten the ones that were not salted, because when I popped open the seal on this, whew, I mean, that salt is like palpable. I mean, it's intense. Very, very salty nuts. But yeah, this container is going to last me a while, probably like 3 days, because I'll be picking at it. Like, I don't, like, when I go vegan, I don't, like, I eat like a lot of the same stuff for 3 days, and then I'll go and get like different stuff for 3 days, and so it won't take me too long to finish this huge container. But yeah, and then I got, so yeah, I got a whole bunch of fruit and whatnot, and I'm basically eating one serving per 30 minutes. And I ran 4 miles this morning. Basically what I did, and I started doing this a little while ago, but I was running 3 miles every day for like 4 days. And then I went up to 4 miles, and if I'm not mistaken, this is day 4. Like 4 days in a row. No, this is probably 4 days in a row that I've run 4 miles. Which means that I'll be going like 3 more days in a row, doing 4 miles, and then I'll bump it back up to 5, and then I'll do that for 7 days in a row, and then I'll go up to 6. And then after I do 6 miles per day, in a row, then I'll be doing more than an hour and a half at the gym, because once I get up to that point where I used to be, when I was really, really, really well conditioned for cardio, basically what will happen is that there's a machine in the gym, aside from the treadmill, and it does a really good job working the abs. And so basically, aside from burning like 1,000 calories in 1 hour, I'm gonna go bust open my abdominals for about 10-15 minutes on top of that. So yeah, things are in motion. I'm definitely a little chubby. In fact, right now I'm actually holding in a fart. And I don't want to let it out, because I know that this phone that I'm using is definitely going to catch the audio. And then for those of you that have been to my website the past like week or two, you'll notice it says Windows 10. There's like a Windows 10 logo at the bottom of the page. Those logos down there, that basically kind of gives you and I'm sure you probably already knew this. I mean, I'm sure everybody, this is kind of common sense. I'm not assuming that anybody's really, really dumb, but those logos are basically, it'll give you a general idea of some of the products that I use for my business. And I had switched over. This was a really dumb decision, and I regret this. But I've already fixed it, and I'm just going to have to learn from my mistakes again. Seems like I've been making a lot of them lately. But yeah, anyway, so I had switched over. Basically what happened was I sold my Nexus 6, which was a bad idea because there was nothing wrong with my Nexus 6. I mean, my Nexus 6 was perfect. I mean, I never had a problem with it, so it's like, damn. I sold my Nexus 6. I did get $300 for it. I found a private buyer. I managed to get $300 for it. What happened was I got really, really impressed by Windows 10, and I got it on my gaming laptop, and I was really, really impressed with it. Unfortunately, I didn't exactly do enough of my research, and so I ended up buying a Lumia 640 for $130, and then I bought a 128 gigabyte micro SD card, and I think that was probably like $30, I don't know. So basically I spent like $160 plus shipping on this phone from T-Mobile, and it turned out to be a real fucking pain in my ass. So basically, I mean, Google ripped me off for like $1,000, but their Nexus phones are really, 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 really nice. And so the fact that Google had ripped me off for so much money, a couple years ago, that was part of the reason for why I was motivated to find something that I can scapegoat to. And so it was definitely a premature decision, and that's my bad. And I basically paid for it. So I still have my Lumia 640, and I don't know. I guess I'm just going to save it as a backup phone or something like that. I mean, it would be nice to have a backup phone. A high-end smartphone, I would definitely be able to sell it like right away, because I mean, it's not really that hard to do. But something like a Lumia 640, some shit like that. Yeah, a phone like that, I don't know if I'd be able to find a buyer for it. So, I mean, I haven't really checked. I could, but I don't think I'm going to try. So, whatever. But yeah, I'm just going to hold on to that phone as a backup, basically. And what I did is I went back to T-Mobile, and I wanted to get a Nexus 6, but unfortunately, they didn't have any. So, they're sold out. And I'm not surprised, because they're really good phones. Like, I'm really not surprised. They're fantastic smartphones. But unfortunately, they didn't have any Nexus 6s, which is kind of sucks. I basically bought a Note 4, and that's what I'm using to make this video. Now, Samsung is also a really, really, like, when it comes to third-party Androids, they're like at the top of their game, in my opinion. They're really, really good. And so far, I don't have a whole lot to complain about. I've had this Note 5. No, it's a Note 5. I think I said Note 4. If I said that, I apologize. This is a Note 5. The only problem that I've really had with this Note 5, and it's really typical for third-party Androids, is that Samsung applications keep popping up, and it's like, I just want them to just go into dormant and just shut up. Unfortunately, I can't. Like, I've gone through the applications, and some of them I can disable, and some of them I can't. So it's just kind of a pain in the ass, and this is one of the reasons why I prefer Nexus, because it's like I don't have that problem. That problem never presents itself, ever. So, but unfortunately, they just didn't have any. So, but what's really cool about my Note 5, and on my website right now, it says that I have a tablet for credit card processing, and I do. I have the tablet, but I'm going to be using this phone now for credit card processing. And in the past, my customers have been having to just use their finger to actually sign their name on my tablet. But as you probably know, with the Samsung Note 5, with all of the Note phones that they have in their lineup, it comes with an S Pen. So that's pretty cool. In fact, I've never had a smartphone that actually has an S Pen, simply because before I had the Nexus 6, and then I had the Nexus 5, and then before the Nexus 5, I had the Galaxy S3. and so on and so forth. So I've never had an S Pen with my phone before. But it's pretty cool. It tucks in at the bottom near the charging port, so it just kind of slides in there and it's out of the way, but it goes with the phone, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of make a video for that. A lot of people have been asking me, there's one more thing I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to cut this video short. A lot of people have been asking me about in-calls. I think what I'm going to be doing, I think what I'll do is I'm going to be doing in-calls once a week. And I'm going to start doing that soon. I'm not going to do that right away. But I think I'm going to be doing in-calls once per week. And basically it's going to be a hotel that's somewhere within a 30-minute drive from downtown Denver. And on those days when I'm doing in-calls, I will still be doing out-calls as well. And the normal travel area is always going to be 30 minutes from downtown Denver, so that's not going to change. So even if I'm like in Wheat Ridge or something like that, it is 30 minutes from downtown, but if you're in Greenwood Village, don't worry about it. It'll just take me a little bit longer to get there. But, you know, it's still going to count towards my normal like travel area. So yeah, no worries there. But yeah, I think I'm going to be doing that. And then what I'll also do is, instead of buying a room on Hotwire and then for that same day in the morning, but buying it for like 3 p.m. check-in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start getting a room for like the next day. And then what I'll do is I'll post it, or even like 2 days later, you know what I mean? And then I'll post the information on my website, just to kind of give people an opportunity to catch on to the fact that I'm about to have an in-call location. And that way it's not like so like sudden where I'm getting the room and then I'm barely posting it as I'm checking into the hotel, you know? So yeah, you can expect those changes to be happening. And of course, a lot of weight loss. I really, really want to encourage people to go onto my YouTube channel and see what happened the last time I went vegan. I did it for real though, but I only did it for like 2 months. And so now I'm planning on doing it like for real. Back when I was in a relationship, you know, there was just all this craziness. And then if you have a partner, you know that, you know, not only is it hard, it's so easy to actually not go to the gym. But on top of that, you know, when it comes to food, it's like, you know, it's such a pain. It's so hard because it's like a lot of times I want to eat, you know, with him, or he wants to eat with me, but then we have to go and get something, you know, together. And it's a real pain in the ass. You know, it's not that hard, especially when it comes to vegans, because, you know, being vegan is a drastic change in a normal diet. I mean, it's a totally different ballgame altogether. But now that I'm single, I have complete freedom. In fact, last year, I had complete freedom, you know, so, you know, when I have freedom like that, I can do pretty much anything I want, which is cool, you know, because I'm not being tied down. You know, it's like, if I decide to do something, I can do it. I can do it every single time. It's really not that hard. You know, if I decide to do something, it's going to happen. You know, so that's something that I'm definitely good at. And so I'm averaging massagebf.com right now. I'm averaging, I checked it like a week ago, and my daily average is actually 40 visitors per day. And these are unique visitors. So I can't see like every little bit of detail. Like, I can't get your address based on your IP address, but I can see I can see some information, but I can't see all of it. But it's really interesting. And so I think that's pretty cool. I'm averaging like 40 visitors per day, which is kind of interesting because, well, I'm kind of a geek, so, you know, I got to do a little bit of math. You know, there's 24 hours in one day. So, you know, that's almost 2 visitors per hour, which is kind of interesting. And of course, I'm filtering out my own IP address, so I don't actually count that. And I'm setting certain criterias because I really want to know how many unique visitors. I really want to get into the crevice a little bit and kind of see what's going on. So it's really interesting to actually see how much exposure I'm getting on my website. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and upload this to YouTube. And thanks for watching massagebf.com, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks.